will pay all of your expenses to college or universities or vocational schools, technical schools, tuition, room and board.
That announcement inspired students to achieve something they never dreamed possible. Ewing Marion Kauffman, Kansas City's most renowned entrepreneur and philanthropist, lived his entire life inspiring people to do things they didn't think they could.
In his case, it was belief. Believe in your people. Demand the best. Because he said you'll never know how good you really are until you stretch yourself.
Kauffman stretched himself by taking risks. He started his drug company in his home basement in 1950, calling it Marion Laboratories, before he ever owned a lab. Ewing Kauffman grew up in Kansas City, attending public schools. He was a good student and gifted in mathematics. A severe illness at age 11 kept him at home on his back for a year. To keep his mind active, his schoolteacher mother made him read constantly.
She was also a pretty religious person, and so she instilled in him ethical, moral values.
The seeds of values she planted in her young son flourished. They would later become the principles of how he would relate to people and conduct his business. Everyone who worked with him would know his fundamental philosophies. Treat others as you want to be treated. Those that produce should share the rewards and give back to the community. Marion Labs grew steadily from the beginning. Kauffman was an experienced salesman. Physicians responded to his friendly, caring personality, and he used creative marketing techniques. Oscal, the calcium supplement, was Marion Labs' first pharmaceutical triumph. Mr. K knew the key to the company's continued success would be to surround himself with talented people willing to work hard.
Most entrepreneurs cannot let go. They have to do everything. But Mr. K was smart enough to realize that if this is going to be this multi-million-dollar dream that I have for this company and its associates, it's going to take a lot of talented people.
Everyone was his associate because we worked together. And we all had different jobs, but we were associated with each other. And he was, you don't find the word staff or my employee in anything you read about Marion Laboratories or the Kauffman Foundation.
The way he selected associates was not a typical interview. Lou Smith recalls his meeting with Mr. K before starting work at the foundation Mr. K later established.
We talked about our mothers, we talked about school. He wanted to know if I worked my way through school, my relationship with my parents, and a lot of the things that tell an individual who somebody is, not what they do for a living.
A person with character could make good decisions.
He really wanted you to use your judgment and act like you were an owner of the company. And in that respect, he had very high expectations that you could contribute at a high level. And people usually did.
He created an open environment where dialogue and exchange was essential.
And he valued folks who disagreed with each other.
Marion Labs grew rapidly. In 1969, it became a publicly traded company. That same year, Mr. K bought a baseball team.
The baseball was brought here not because of his intense love or desire of baseball, which he did in later. It became very attached to the Royals, but he did it to make Kansas City a better place to live.
Mr. K applied the same innovative ideas as an entrepreneur to his new role as a major league team owner.
You could tell right away what a great leader he was, and he was so motivated. He had so many ideas that went so far beyond the normal scope of some of us old baseball people that know only one way to do it.
The Baseball Academy was his way of developing more major league players.
The Baseball Academy was tremendously successful with Frank White, of course, being the leading graduate of that. But 13, 14 players played in the major leagues. But he always wanted to do things better than other people.
In 1985, his team won the World Series. In 1989, Marion Laboratories merged with Merrill Dow.
When we shared with Mr. K our suggestion that we really had to look at mergers, acquisitions, that type of thing for the company's future, he listened to us and he said, if that's the right thing to do for the shareholders, I'm all for it. But personally, it would kill me.
Mr. K survived the merger, then began to devote his energies to his foundation, Project Early, Project Choice, Project Essential, Project Star were Kauffman Foundation initiatives that benefited youth and families. Mr. K died in 1993.
What I think is the most enduring part of Mr. K's legacy is not the Royals, it's not the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation. It is the way this individual impacted so many other men and women in this community.
Kansas City Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame laureate, Ewing Marion Kauffman.